Let's go to New York. Pat, good morning. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car. Thanks for holding.
Well, thank you for being on the radio today because I need your opinion on whether to invest more money into my 1994 Grand Marquis.
Okay.
We just had it diagnosed because the check engine light was coming on, and they said that they concluded the EGR ports in the intake and intake adapter are plugged with carbon.
Okay.
And that they would have to disassemble, scrape, drill, chisel, and all that for $1,000 to $1,500.
Okay.
Now I know the car is only worth about $2,000, but there's sentimental value because my mother-in-law gave it to us, and in 2014, and it only had 52,000 miles on it.
Got it.
We now have 128,000. We go to Florida and we go to Michigan, and it's in beautiful condition otherwise.
Well, by all means, invest the money. And as you were thinking, I was putting myself in that position. And see, I have the advantage because every day I talk to folks that own cars like you. And my first question is, has this been a good car? And you've already stated that it really is a nice-looking car and what have you. And so here's Pat. Let me, just from a psychological standpoint and peace of mind, I'm really glad you called, because here's what you're going to do, and what I suggest that you do. If you trust the shop, which you must trust the shop, and they are straight with you, and you've dealt with them before, then by all means, the money that you spend, let's say the money wasn't $1,500 or $1,000. Let's say it was $3,000, because now you're way over what the 94 is worth. But let's just say it was $3,000. You're in a position to where you have to make the decision to buy your own car back. So, and let me explain what that means, and I'll do it as briefly as possible, because this applies to a lot of cars that go into shops across the nation. When you have a car, that it's a used car, we all have used cars, my car's a used car, you have a component that goes bad. You know that car, and you know that it has a particular issue, but you know the rest of the car is whole, because you've driven the car enough, and you know if it has how many rattles and clangs and leaks and brakes and steering, and you know the air conditioner, so you know the overall condition. Maybe not like a technician, but you enjoy the car and you trust the car, and over a time ironically the carbon build up, which is typical. So what you're going to do here is, and just put your mindset here, I'm going to invest this money, and I'm going to buy my own used car back because I know my used car. Now, let's shift gears. What if you say, I'm not going to spend this $3,000 on this used car. I'm going to go buy a used car. So you buy a used car for $3,000, and you know nothing about it, and you could spend very easily another $3,000 on that used car because it had problems that you didn't know about. So in essence, for less than $1,500, you're buying your own car back that you know, and it's going to be in a healthier condition than it was to start with. And I agree with that, and I think that's a good decision. You got it?
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Well,
that's what we'll do then.
Thank you, and please, when you get to the other side of the repair, and share this with the shop owner as well, and the technician, the service person that you're working with. Share your feelings and say, this is going to buy my car back. Just assure me that overall it's good, and you might want to add an annual inspection just to make sure that the rest of the car is looked over. And I'll be back, folks.